Welcome to the latest edition of Immunology Updates, covering breakthroughs in the past 2 weeks. Brought to you by LucidQuest. Dupixent, or dupilumab, from Sanofi and Regeneron, received FDA approval in the United States for allergic fungal rhinosinusitis in adults and children aged 6 years and older who have previously undergone sinonasal surgery. The approval is based on the Phase 3 Liberty AFRS AIM study involving 62 patients. Dupilumab demonstrated reductions in sinus opacification, nasal symptoms, and the need for corticosteroids or additional surgery compared with placebo, making it the first FDA-approved therapy specifically indicated for allergic fungal rhinosinusitis. Merck Animal Health also secured an FDA approval with Numelvi or atinvisitinib tablets for the control of pruritus associated with allergic dermatitis in dogs aged 6 months and older. The once-daily oral therapy is a selective JAK1 inhibitor and is described as the first second-generation JAK inhibitor approved for this indication in dogs in the United States, potentially introducing new competition in veterinary dermatology treatment options. Johnson & Johnson submitted a supplemental biologics license application to the FDA for Immunology, also known as nipocalimab AAHU, as a treatment for warm autoimmune hemolytic anemia. The filing is supported by results from the Phase 2-3 Energy study in adults with the disease. According to the company, the therapy demonstrated rapid and durable improvements in hemoglobin levels, as well as reductions in fatigue, addressing a condition for which no FDA-approved therapies currently exist. AbbVie reported positive top-line results from the Phase 3 AFFIRM study evaluating subcutaneous induction with risankizumab in adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease. The randomized placebo-controlled trial enrolled 289 patients, many of whom had previously failed advanced therapies. At week 12, risankizumab achieved superiority over placebo on key endpoints, including CDAI clinical remission at 55% versus 30%, and endoscopic response at 44% versus 14%, with no new safety signals observed. Roche reported Phase 3 Allegory results evaluating obinutuzumab, marketed as Gazyva or Gazyvaro, in adults with systemic lupus erythematosus. The study compared obinutuzumab plus standard therapy against placebo plus standard therapy. The trial met its primary endpoint, with 76.7% of patients achieving SRI 4 at week 52, compared with 53.5% in the placebo group. Additional improvements were reported across key secondary measures, including BICLA response, reductions in steroid use, delayed disease flares, and higher remission rates. Pfizer reported positive top-line findings from a Phase 2 trial evaluating tilrekimig in adults with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. The randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study met its primary endpoint, showing statistically significant improvements in EASI 75 at week 16 across all tested dose levels compared with placebo. Tilrekimig is a trispecific antibody designed to target interleukin-4, interleukin-13, and TSLP, and Pfizer plans to advance the therapy into Phase 3 development for atopic dermatitis. Bristol Myers Squibb received FDA approval for Sotyktu, or deucravacitinib, for the treatment of adults with active psoriatic arthritis. The decision was supported by results from the Phase 3 POETIC PsA1 and PsA2 trials. In both studies, a higher proportion of patients receiving deucravacitinib achieved ACR 20 response at week 16, compared with those receiving placebo, positioning the therapy as the first TYK2 inhibitor approved for psoriatic arthritis. Finally, the FDA granted Fast Track designation to nipocalimab in systemic lupus erythematosus. The decision follows positive results from the Phase 2b Jasmine trial and ongoing enrollment in the Phase 3 Gardenia study evaluating the therapy in adults with active lupus. The designation highlights the continued development of FcRn targeting approaches for autoimmune diseases with significant unmet medical need. Stay ahead in immunology research, like, share and subscribe for our updates. Visit lqventures.com or email us at info